Hello, my lovely ladies. I'm Antique Athena, and I am so excited to see you all today.
In this video, you see that some hairstyles are on the screen right now. Those will be what we'll be focusing on today because today's subject is spiral curls, which were very popular in the Victorian time period.
And they've been around since before Victoria even took the throne, and they will be around even after her death and she passes it on to her son. And so we're going to go in a little bit into how they did their spiral curls so that they can have these very pristine, tight looking curls in their hair for a little emphasis to the bun they usually had and what they used to do with it. Now let's get started on how to do spiral curls. Alright, so to start with your spiral curls, there's multiple ways you can do it. You can do a heat curl, but I find that if you want a curl that lasts a little bit longer, you do what is called a wet curl. And so instead of using a curling iron, what you do is you take your hair and you wet it down and then you apply the curl to it. And by doing that, once it dries, your hair has dried in that position and it will remain that way until eventually you either comb it out or it just gets pulled flat. Everybody's hair is a little bit different. Some will hold the curl longer and some will end up lasting only a day or two, but it's much longer than most of the time it does with heat curl, and you also don't need quite as much product. So we'll talk about a few of the types of curls you can do, and then we'll go into a tutorial for the one that's the easiest. So some of the curls you could do are for pin curls, which require a bunch of bobby pins, or some of my favorites are these spiral curls. Very simple. They just have a wire inside and you just bend it in whatever position you need it in order to hold the hair. And I will do a better tutorial on those ones at another point because those ones are more complicated. We're not going to go into detail on those quite yet. The easiest way to do it is with a rag curl, and by doing one of these rag curls, you'll use something like this, a bandana or a scarf, in order to put your hair in one of these curls. Now, the pioneers, they used rag curls because they were very resourceful kind of people. The Victorians had all sorts of different materials that they would use for dresses, for aprons, for pants and vests and all that kind of stuff, and they would wear them until they're getting holes in them, they're getting completely worn out. They tried to use them until the last possible moment, and then once it got to that point, then they would decrease it down, for example, a dress to an apron, and then once the apron's gone worn down, they'd go down to rags to clean with. And at that point, once they are no longer able to be cleaned with, they can then be cut into long strips to create a rag curl. So I'm going to show how to do that. It's really easy. All you need is 4 sections in your hair. Now you see my hair is still dry, so what we're going to do is going to wet it down. But first what we want to do is part it. So I already have my hair parted straight down the middle. What we're going to do is we're going to pull this piece to the side and just clip it up out of the way. And we'll part that one later. Now on this side, we're going to part this right down the middle, making sure the hair is completely even. Alright, so you see I now have 2 sections of hair. We're going to focus on the front for right now. So this section I'm going to also clip out of the way. Now a good way to clip your hair up if you don't have a clip like this one is these little alligator clips. Got a really strong string in them. They hold tons of hair with just a little bit of spring. They're fantastic little things. Alright, so now I have just one section I'm working with. I can do a little bit of a comb out here, get it nice and straight. Now, you could take a shower and just start with your hair being wet. Since my hair is dry, we're going to take a spray bottle and just spray down the hair very lightly and comb through. And you keep doing this until it's as saturated as you want it. Now, you have to take into account the amount of time it's going to take for your hair to dry in these curls and how wet your hair needs to be in order
to do these curls as well so that they can stay. Alright, so my hair is sufficiently wet. We're going to take one of these rag curls. Make sure it's all rolled up. Alright, so depending on where you want this curl to start, you can have it start close to the bottom, or you can pull it up into a pigtail. We're going to start pulling mine up into a pigtail because I want it to start close to the top. Now, what I also want to do is I don't want to lose this as I start wrapping the hair around it. So I'm going to take another one of these alligator clips, and I'm just going to pin this to my head. It's going to stay right there so that I can now start wrapping this hair around it. Alright, so what we're going to do is going to take this hair and very smoothly wrap it around. You want to keep your hands close to the hair so you can follow the follicle. That will keep it smoother so you'll get less frizz when you wake up in the morning. You want it nice and tight all the way down to the end. Alright, so now that I've reached the end, my thumb is pinching the very tips of my hair. You want to make sure those stay in place because you don't want the ends of your hair to be kinked while the rest is in a beautiful spiral, because then it'll just look weird. So now at the end, you see you have all this scarf left and you have no way to hold the end of your hair. You're going to use the rest of the scarf to hold it. So the hair has been moving this way around my head, so we're going to have the scarf moving the exact same direction back up the spiral. So if I went around this way, the scarf goes up around this way. Now, something to keep in mind while we are wrapping the hair back up the strand of our curl, we want to make sure that we do it nice and smooth because this is protecting our hair for while we are sleeping at night so as to get frizzed up against our pillow, and that way we have a smooth, very beautiful curl when we wake up in the morning. Alright, so now that we've reached the top, I now have my two ends. Take them, tie them together. We now have a rag curl. We're going to do the same in the back and then split this side and do two more on the other side. Alright, so now all my hair is up in 4 rag curls, 2 in front, 2 in back. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sleep on these, and when I wake up in the morning, we'll take them all down and we'll show you how to turn these new spiral curls you just put into your hair into beautiful Victorian hairstyles. I'll see you in the morning. Bye! Morning everyone. It's been about a few hours for me, but a few seconds for the rest of you. So as you see, it's now morning. I still have my rag curls in. We're going to take them down. I'm going to show how you would separate those rag curls. And then once they're separated, we're going to show a few fun hairstyles you can do with fresh curls and even some that you can do with day-old curls. So let's start by taking them down. So now we see no more rag curls, just 4 springy curls. Now, it doesn't really work out using just this full curl because it's a lot of your hair. You can't really do a lot of fun, intricate things with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate these curls. So just take a small strand of hair, slowly pull it out of your curl. Now it's going to turn to this weird bunch. So in order to situate it, you just wrap it right around your finger. This does very good at trying to smooth out the hair at the same time so that you have a little curl. Alright, you see there I've got a bunch of ringlet curls, they're all bouncy, and actually if I just flatten this down a little bit, it looks really cute, and it'll just be a cute hairstyle on itself. But we want an 1800s hairstyle. So, as I said, these curls are used all the time during the 1800s. They're very popular, used in all sorts of different things.
If you want something that's quick, easy, just get out of the house and you're on your way, the easiest one is you're going to crisscross them, create kind of like a cascading curl waterfall behind your head. So I'm going to turn around here. See, curl behind here. Here's a curl. Take it like this. Grab a bobby pin. Turn it. Anchored it in. Take another one. Doesn't have to be neat or nice because the top curls will cover the mess underneath. Alright, so now we have just our front ones here. We want to be a little bit more precise with these ones because these are going to create the rest of the body. So here, I'm going to pull these over, nice and smooth this out here. And we're going to make sure it's sitting so we can start kind of closing up that gap there. You want to make it kind of tight. Alright, we got that side up. Again, on the same side. There you go. Nice and smooth up. If you need, use a little bit of a comb right here against the head to make it smooth. That's perfectly okay. Just don't go into the curl because you don't want to mess those up. Again, have it layered so that it covers up. Alright, so for these front curls, you can do all sorts of different things. It was very fashionable to have the center part, which is the front part of your hair hanging down. This was fashionable on itself. Now what I probably want to do, because they're uneven, is to give it a little bit of a twist here so that they're evened up. If I don't want to do this and I want to pull it back, multiple things you could do. You can just simply pull it back like that and have it. You can turn it into a little twist. We'll do that on this side and kind of show how that twist works. You just kind of twist it around until you get to the back. It's okay for it to be nice and big because they did like big hair on top. Twist it back. Once you get to the back, make sure it's included in all your cascading glory. And since you did twist it, you probably want 2 bobby pins here. There you go. And that's what it would look like, the side and the back. Now, you'll notice I have one here that looks a little bit short. I'll just take that, pin it up, hide the bobby pin, so that now they all look about the same height. So that's one possibility. You do a little twist. The twist is important because it gives a little bit of a volume up there. If you pull it straight back, it doesn't really look the same way for an 1800s hairstyle. If they pulled straight back, it was always down and back. It wasn't straight back that way. If they had it on top, they added a little bit of volume. So a twist is a good way to do a quick volume without having to tease or do anything like that. The other possibility, I'm going to show on this side, this one we are actually going to go straight up on top. Again, we do a little twist so we can give a little bouffant like that. And whenever you twist it, you want to make sure that these curls are falling very smoothly on the top. Because if you see from this side, there's a little bit of a poof there in front, and then it's going to fall down in your cascade of curls. So you have the 2 different options. You have it on top, and if you do it like this, in order to get body, if you don't want to do any kind of teasing, letting it sit the way that the curls are naturally wanting to make it big, works out. And then you do a little bit of pulling and adjusting so that it looks nice and big. You can see I got this big full head followed by all my cascading curls. The two possibilities. Alright, so we're back to our bunch of curls here. And maybe I decided I didn't want to do the cascading curls. So it is pretty, I decided I wanted to do something else today. Or maybe I have day-old hair and so most of the curls are now falling flat and so I need something different. Now, very popular during the time period, especially during the 1830s and 40s, is this front section of hair will be separated. So this hair in the back, saying that you can once again pin it up into your cascade of curls like you had before. Or you could pull it all back and then turn it into a bun. The cascade of curls is kind of hanging out there. Alright, now let's discuss these ones in the front. So, depending on the time period, depending on what kind of curls they had in front. Now, sometimes the curls would just sit like this, and you just simply have them down, and you just get all these little parts that are sticking out, and pin them down. Simple as that. Done. Other possibility, which is very popular during the 1830s, is to have really short curls. Now, as I mentioned, my hair is long, so I have to shorten it. But if your hair is short already, and you do these curls, it will be just the right length. So you don't want them any lower than about the chin. You could do them a little bit higher if you situate the hair correctly. And generally, you don't want them in front of your face. You want them beside your face like this. You see, just right in front of the ear gives you a little bit of a wider face. So. There you go. You got some curls in front, which look really gorgeous. It looks like you spent forever on them, but we didn't, as you know. It took just some rag curls, and that was it. And then you just have some kind of bun in the back. So that is the two main hairstyles that go really well with these curls. Now, as most hairstyles go, you have little bits of things that can be switched over between different hairstyles. And as we go through the rest of this series, we'll be able to get a chance to look at some of those that you could have added into this one, or that we can add this one into other ones. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and like this video and comment below for any questions or comments you might have concerning this video, suggestions you have for future videos. Also support me on my Patreon, link will be below, and I'll see you in the next one.